Yo, welcome back to Frankbrox Art. I am Brian Broxton, and we are drawing the Green Goblin. Now, I know it's been some time. I've been kind of cleaning up my little work area because, when you're working on a lot of stuff, sometimes things get a little messy. You need to reorganize and clean up, so that's what I've been doing. Don't pay attention to that stuff back there. I'm still kind of working. So let's get into the Green Goblin. Let's freaking go. It's a little late, but it's here. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Frankbrox Art, where the mix of comic book chaos, neon color, madness, and real life hustle. Now today, we're diving into one of the all-time favorite Marvel villains, and that's the Green Goblin. Now listen, this man shows up flying through the sky on a razor blade hoverboard, throwing bombs and laughing, radioactive Skittles and everything. This guy, he's crazy. And if any character deserves a neon sped art video, this is the freaking dude for it. So let's get into it. So in this video, you're going to see the full illustration process sped up, from the sketch to the inking, the lighting, the neon pops, all the chaos, and yes, those sharp goblin cheeks that could slice through drywall. So, as you can see, I kind of already got started, and you don't see the full kind of light sketch that I do, but I start to get into the details a little early because I didn't catch the other one. Sorry about that. I'll catch you next time. When I start from nothing and then go into something. So this time I want to mix a little bit of the classic comic inking plus a little cyber glow energy. I'm talking big rim, lights and exaggerated shadows and that signature Green Goblin grin that lets you know your rent is not getting paid on time. Now in the sketch, when I sketch a villain, I don't start with heavy details. Now in here, you kind of see me already going over the light sketch and everything, because I didn't catch the other one, the light, startup or whatever. But, let's move on from there, so I start with the attitude. And, I was thinking about Norman Osborn. He's confident, arrogant, Joker-esque energy with billionaire consequences. So the pose, had to scream, I'm dangerous, but I'm having the time of my freaking life. So the big curve in the spine, the forward lean, the, dynamic eyes, big eyes, because I was thinking, I was channeling Spider-Man, the very first Spider-Man with, Tobey Maguire, and the suit that Green Goblin was supposed to have. It was supposed to be kind of like a practical kind of suit, practical mask or whatever, but they changed it up this crazy mechanical looking Iron Man whatever. But I wanted to go back to the bulging eyes and that crazy looking goblin chin. So that was my main focus, my major, only solitary focus, to reinterpret that as for my Green Goblin character. Now this is supposed to be done on already done Halloween whatever, but I missed it. Okay, whatever. So the big curve in the spine, blah blah blah. I'm mapping the glider, and I didn't do the glider. I just have them on top of the hat. Hey, it's almost Christmas time. Why not have them up on a chimney or something, or on the roof of a house or whatever? It matches, right? So there you go. I'm sketching him out. I'm putting his bag and all his gear together and all that stuff. So yeah, this is the look that I'm going for. It would have been cool if I would have did some red, white, and, whatever, but maybe next time. All right. this is where the attitude snaps into place. I'm keeping the lines sharp and angular, or the harsh curves, giving the villain the energy. Heroes get smooth curves, villains get knives. So Goblin's costume is going to be, I was trying to make it like fun, but, mimicking that mask that I was kind of envisioning from the concept art from the very first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I wanted to give it like that nice medieval gesture, kind of like, pose with the Halloween problem. So I exaggerated some of the wrinkles and the folds and the torn fabrics, make him more alive and more unhinged, and I think I pulled it off pretty well. He does look crazy, insane. He looks, like an old man gesture, whatever, but, still strong. Like, you can't like knock him over or whatever. So he still has that sinister look in his face, like he's going to destroy something. And I think I definitely accomplished this in this illustration. So here's where, the base colors come in. And I know everybody's going to comment that, so let me say it now. Yes, Green Goblin is green. Yes, it's obvious. And yes, we're still making him glow like a neon avocado. You know what I'm saying? So, sorry, I got a little cough. Yeah, so, there's going to be some glowing, there's going to be some yellows, some crazy looking colors, blue, whatever, it's night out, he has a little glow coming on him. So the trick here is contrast. I'm using really deep purples for the suit so that the green skin punches through, the green, the purple is one of the most classic villain combos like Joker or, like Goblin, Mysterio, they all have the vibes, you know what I'm saying? Now, this is the fun part. the rendering. Now this is getting in like the shading and all that stuff, the coloring. This is where like the Green Goblin starts looking like he's crawling straight out of the comic book panel, ready to run somebody's life into a wall. So heavy shadows under the brow. I wanted to keep the deep pockets around his cheeks, sharp highlights on his nose and chin. And then also because it's Green Goblin, the eyes gotta glow, like it's piercing into your soul. So gotta have that. I just made a bad decision and it felt great energy, Now we're coming to the final polishing point where, all the little fine-tuned finishing touches, small line touches, color corrections, glow and all that stuff. I'm beefing up the highlights, pushing shadows and, giving his eyes that, the sparkly intent. I'm about to do a monologue. Brace yourself. So, just getting ready for that. But, I'll just also want to adjust, the background, a little bit, just, I guess what he's standing on or whatever, just kind of doing some little tidbits and adding in some colors and shadows and all that stuff, and framing it nice or whatever. So, but that's it, man, and that's a wrap on the Green Goblin speed illustration. So, if you enjoy the chaos, hit that like button. It lets me know that you appreciate all the mixed color and my storytelling and the pure nerd energy going on here. So drop a comment and let me know, which Marvel villain should I draw next? Should it be Doc Ock, Carnage, Electro, Venom? I'm thinking about doing like the X-Men, but with the kind of like a certain X-Men where they had like the black and the yellow X, kind of like that run or whatever. So I want to do my own interpretation of that. So that will be coming down the pipeline, sir. But I got some other stuff I need to finish up too. So make sure you subscribe to Frankbrox Art for more speed drawings and character design breakdowns and behind the scenes whatevers. I appreciate you watching. Stay creative, stay inspired, and as always, keep leveling up your art. Peace.